हजार फूल चाहिए एक माला बनाने के लिए। हजार फूल चाहिए एक माला बनाने के लिए। हजार दीपक चाहिए एक आरती सजाने के लिए। हजार दीपक चाहिए एक आरती सजाने के लिए, पर एक माँ ही काफ़ी है बच्चों की ज़िंदगी को स्वर्ग बनाने के लिए। बस एक माँ ही काफ़ी है बच्चों की ज़िंदगी को स्वर्ग बनाने के लिए। So friends, today we are going to discuss the poem of Nizam Ezekiel, The Night of Scorpion. So tell me answer of one question. Imagine someone in your family is bitten by a poisonous insect. What would you do first? Option A, visit hospital, or B, option B, call village healer, option C, pray, or option D, use some remedy. Tell me. So which option you have chosen? Tell me. Surely. Today we shall see how one family reacted to such an incident many years ago. Night of the Scorpion. And tell me, why night? Why not simply Scorpion? So the title Night of Scorpion appears simply, but it is highly symbolic and multi-layered. It does not merely refer to the night when a scorpion beat the poet's mother. It encapsulates the poem's central theme of fear, pain, faith, superstition, science, motherhood, and humanity. The title literally refers to the night when the poet's mother was stung by a scorpion. Symbolically, the scorpion represents pain, fear, suffering, and the unpredictable forces of nature, while the while the night symbolizes darkness, ignorance, anxiety, and emotional crisis. Philosophically, the title explores human helplessness, the conflict between science and superstition, rural Indian life, and a mother's selfless love. Psychologically, it shows that fear and panic can spread faster than the scorpion's venom. Critically, the title transforms a simple domestic incident into a universal reflection on human suffering, community response, and the greatness of motherhood. The Night of Scorpion was published in 1965 in Nizam Ezekiel's fifth collection of poems, The Exact Name, between 1960 to 1964. Published by the Writer Workshop, Calcutta. You know who established the Writer Workshop? P. Lal or Purushottam Lal. It is written in 8 stanza and 47 lines. The major poem in the Exact Man. Here are some important poems included in this collection are Night of the Scorpion, In India, The Exact Man, The Philosophy, Love Poem, etc. His poems portray ordinary Indian life with realism, irony, and simplicity. Now we will discuss about Nizam Ezekiel. Nizam Ezekiel is widely regarded as the father of modern Indian English poetry. He transformed Indian English poetry by introducing urban realism, psychological depth, conversational language, irony, and modernist technique. Unlike earlier English Indian English poets who often imitated British Romanticism, Ezekiel wrote about ordinary Indian life, making his poetry authentic, intellectual, engaging, and distinctly Indian. He was not only a poet but also an essayist, playwright, editor, literary critic, teacher, and mentor to many young Indian writers. His contribution laid the foundation for the growth of modern Indian English literature after independence. And he received Sahitya Academy Award in 1983 for the collection Letter des Psalms. And he also got Padma Shri Award in 1988. It is one of the highest civilian honor recognizing his contribution to literature. Now we will read the poem. And this poem is in autobiographical tone, and this poem started with first person narrative using I. So let's discuss about the poem. I remember the night I was stung by a scorpion. I remember the night my mother was stung by a scorpion. 10 hours of steady rain had driven him to crawl beneath a sack of rice. So we will discuss the summary. The poet recalls a childhood memory. During the rainy night, a scorpion enters the house and stings his mother before escaping. So these opening line immediately establish the poem's setting. The setting of the Night of the Scorpion is a rural Indian village during a dark monsoon night. Physically, the simple house illuminated only by the candles and lanterns reflects limited medical resources. Socially and culturally, the setting highlights village solidarity, believed in karma, ritual practices, and the coexistence of superstition and scientific thinking. Psychologically, the atmosphere of evolve from fear to confusion to compare and hope, while symbolically the night represents uncertainty, the rain represents nature's power, and the mother's home becomes a space where suffering is transformed into love. Structurally, the poem is written in free verse with no fixed rhyme scheme or regular meter. This modernist form mirrors the natural rhyme of speech and emotional unpredictability of the incident, making the poem realistic, conversational, and deeply moving. The phrase I remember tells us that this is a deeply personal memory. Notice that poet does not blame on scorpion. Instead, he explained that 10 hours of continuous rain forced it to leave its natural habitat and seek shelter under a sack of rice. This detail is important because it shifts our perspective. The scorpion is not a villain but another creature struggling to survive. Symbolically, the rain represents the uncontrollable power of nature, while the night creates an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Through this simple beginning, Ezekiel prepares us for a poem that is not merely about a scorpion sting, but about how human beings respond to suffering, fear, and crisis. The poem opens with a personal memory, giving it an autobiographical tone. The rain forces the scorpion into the house, showing that nature and humans often come into unexpected contact. The poet does not describe the scorpion as evil, it acts instinctively. The theme of the poem is nature's unpredictability, human vulnerability, memory. The literary device used in the stanza, first person narration, I remember, So here the poet used I, so it is narrated in first person. Symbolism used scorpion, it represents, it shows pain and suffering. Imagery, rain and darkness creates atmosphere. So critical perspective of this stanza. An eco-critical reading suggests that the scorpion is simply part of nature, not a moral villain. So tell me, why does the poet begin with the phrase I remember? This is the question. Now we will read next line. The peasant came like swarm of flies and buzzed the name of God 100 times to paralyze the evil one. Let's explain this line. This line describes the arrival of villager after the poet's mother is stung by scorpion. They introduce one of the poem's central concern, the relationship between faith, superstition, community, and human compassion. The literal meaning of the stanza: when the villager hear that the poet's mother has been stung by a scorpion, they immediately rush to house. They gathered in large number and repeatedly changed the name of God, chanted the name of the God, believing that their prayer would stop the poison from spreading or weaken the evil associated with the scorpion's sting. The villager sincerely believed that God's power could overcome evil. Now, next line. The peasant came like swarm of flies. It means, the literal meaning is, the villager peasant rushed to the poet's house in larger number. The comparison to swarm of flies suggests that they arrived quickly and crowded the small house. So tell me, why does Ezekiel use the comparison? The poet does not compare the villager to flies to insult them. Instead, the comparison highlights their large number, their restless movement, the noise they make, and the urgency of the situation. So just as flies gather quickly around something unusual, the villager gather immediately after hearing the news. And now we will discuss about symbolical meaning. The villager symbolizes the community's spirit, shared responsibility, and collective consciousness. Although they lack medical knowledge, they refuse to leave the family alone. Now, next line. And buzz the name of God 100 times. The literal meaning is, the villager repeatedly chants God's name. The verb buzzed imitates the continuous humming sound of many voices praying together. The question is, why buzzed? The poet could have written prayed, but he chose buzzed. This word creates a sound image. It resembles the buzzing of fly mentioned in a previous line. This connects the simile with the villager's voice. Now, next line, 100 times. This is not meant literally. It is an example of hyperbole. It means exaggeration of something. It means they prayed continuously and with great devotion. The symbolic meaning of the line is, the repeated chanting represents faith, hope, and spiritual comfort. The villager believed that collective prayer has healing power to paralyze the, next line is, to paralyze the evil one. Its literal meaning is, the villager hope that their prayer will stop the power of scorpion's poison. The expression the evil one refers to the evil associated with the sting, not necessarily to the scorpion itself. Why is evil one capitalized? The capitalization gives the phrase a religion and symbolic quality. It reflects the villager belief that the sting is connected with the supernatural evil. So they mentioned about the supernatural thing in this poem. And the symbolic meaning is the evil one symbolizes suffering, pain, fear, and destructive forces. The villager believed that evil can be defeated through prayer. Now we will see the literary device used in this poem. So first one is simile. The peasant come like swarm of fly. So the villager are compared to swarm of flies. The effect is the simile emphasize speed, movement, crowd, excitement, and urgency. Now another literary device is auditory image. Buzzed the name of God. Reader can almost hear the continuous murmuring of prayer. The sound creates a realistic atmosphere. Now next one is visual imagery. The crowded house filled with the villager created a vivid picture. Now they used hyperbole 100 times. A villager probably did not count exactly 100 prayer. The phrase simply emphasized continuous repetition. Now another literary device is symbolism. It means peasant represent Indian rural society and community, and next collective responsibility. Here the name of God represents faith, hope, and spiritual healing. And evil one represents pain, faith, suffering. Evil is understood by the villagers. And another literary device used, that is irony. The villagers sincerely believe that prayer will stop the poison. However, the poem never confirmed that their prayer actually cured the mother. The irony lies in the contrast between their genuine comprehension and uncertain effectiveness of other method. And next device is alliteration. It means repetition of consonant sound. Buzz just goes. This represent consonant sound contribute to the poem's musical quality through subtle. Next one is realism. The poem realistically portrays the custom of rural Indian village. Many community traditionally responds to illness with collective prayer. Now modernism. Ezekiel observed the event without openly judging it. He neither praises nor mocks the villager. Now next one is free verse. This is no fixed rhyme or meter. This line flow naturally like spoken English. The theme of this stanza is this line develops several major themes like community solidarity, faith, superstition, human compassion, religious as an emotional support, or collective response to the suffering. Now we will read another line. With candle and with lantern, throwing giants scorpion shadows on the mud-baked walls. They searched for him, he was not found. They clicked their tongue. With every moment that the scorpion made his poison moved in mother's blood, they said. So this line widely portrays the villagers' frantic search for the scorpion and reveal their beliefs about how the poison spread. The passage combines realistic description, symbolism, irony, and psychological insight, making it one of the most memorable sections of the poem. So, the literal meaning of the stanza is since there is no electricity, the villagers use candles and lantern to search for the scorpion. The flickering light cast large shadow of the scorpion on the mud wall, making it appear much bigger than it really is. Despite searching everywhere, they cannot find the scorpion. The villagers click their tongue to express sympathy and anxiety. They believe that as long as the scorpion continue to move, its poison also keep moving through the mother's body. We will see the use of literary device in this study. So here, as a visual imagery, candle, lantern, and giant shadow, mud-walked walls. So this was used as a visual imagery. This detail created a vivid picture of the dark village house. Now we will look for symbolism. Candle and lantern represent hope, faith, and the search of truth. Giant shadow represent fear, imagination, exaggerated anxiety. Mud waked walls represent rural India, simplicity and realism. And scorpion represent suffering, uncertainty, and natural unpredictability. The irony, the villager believe that they understand how the poison works. However, the reader recognizes that this belief is scientifically incorrect. The irony lies in the contrast between their confidence and their lack of medical knowledge. And now next one is contrast. Here is the contrast between light, it means candle and lantern, and darkness, it means night and fear. The physical light cannot remove emotional darkness. And another literary device is enjambment. The sentence continue across line without complete pauses. This creates a natural narrative flow and reflect the continuous movement of the search. We will look the theme. The theme of this stanza is fear and imagination, community and solidarity. Next is superstition, human helplessness, rural Indian life, the search for meaning during crisis. So this is all about the theme of this stanza. We will see another stanza. May he sit still, they said. May the sins of your previous birth be burned away tonight, they said. May your suffering decrease, the misfortune of your next birth, they said. May the sum of all evil balanced in this unreal world. So these lines present the villagers' prayer and philosophical belief. They are rooted in Indian religious thought, especially the concept of karma, rebirth, suffering, and spiritual purification. Rather than focusing only on physical healing, the villager interpret the incident from a spiritual perspective. So, literal meaning of this stanza is the villager continues praying for the poet's mother. They believe if the scorpion remain still, the poison will not spread. Her pain may remove the sin of her previous life. Her suffering may reduce future suffering in the next birth, and pain has spiritually purpose. So this prayer reflects their religious faith and belief in karma and reincarnation. See the literary device used in this stanza. So repetition, they said, the repeated phrase create rhyme. It emphasizes the continuous prayer of the villager. It also reflects the collective voice of the community. Next one is symbolism. Previous birth represent karma, past action, moral responsibility. Next birth represent hope, future redemption, and spiritual continuity. So evil represent human suffering, sin, pain, moral disorder. And unreal world represent illusion. It means moh maya. means temporary world existence. So another literary device is allusion. The poem alludes to the important concept of Hindu philosophy like karma, reincarnation means avatar, maya, spiritual purification. These ideas are not explained directly because they are part of the villager cultural worldwide view. And next one literary device is irony. The villagers are concerned with the mother's spiritual welfare while she is experiencing intense physical pain. They creates a subtle irony between spiritual explaining and immediate suffering. Important theme of this poem is karma, rebirth, faith, suffering, spiritual purification, and community support, and human search for meaning. Now the next line is, may the sum of all evil balanced against the sum of good become diminished by your pain, may the poison purify your flesh. These lines continue the villagers' prayer. They reveal their belief that suffering is not meaningless but has a moral and spiritual purpose. According to their worldwide, the mother's pain can contribute not only to her own spiritual purification but also to moral balance of the universe. The literal meaning of this line is, the villager pray that the mother's suffering may reduce the evil in the world. Her pain may help increase goodness. The poison in her body may purify her flesh instead of destroying it. Instead of seeing the poison only as harmful, they interpret it as means of spiritual cleansing. Very device used in this. First one is symbolism. Sim- the word is poison. Poison represents suffering, life's hardship, spiritual testing, transformation. Next word is good and evil. It represents moral conflict, universal order, and human ethics. Next device is paradox. May the poison purify your flesh. A poison normally harm the body. Here it is said to purify. This apparent contradiction is a paradox. The paradox expresses the idea that suffering can lead to spiritual growth. Now, next one is religious illusion. These lines allude the Indian concept of karma, moral balance, and spiritual purification. Now, next is repetition. The repeat use may dash dash dash. It creates the rhyme of collective prayer and emphasizes the villager's sincerity. Next one is irony. From the science perspective, poison damages the body. From the villager's religious perspective, it purifies the soul. So the irony lies in the contrast between physical reality and spiritual interpretation. The theme of this poem, this stanza is suffering as a purification, good versus evil, faith, sacrifice, spiritual transformation, and moral order. Now, next one is stanza is, of desire and your spirit of ambition, they said, and they sat around on the floor with my mother in the center. The peace of understanding on each face, more candle, more letter, more never, more insect, and the endless rain. My mother twisted through and through, groaning on mat. My father, skeptic, rationalist, trying very curse and blessing, powder, mixture, herb, and hybrid. He even poured a little paraffin upon the beaten toe and put a mace to it. I watched the flame feeding on my mother. I watched the holy man perform his rite to tame the poison with an incarnation. After 20 hours, it lost its sting. So this is the central section of the poem where three different responses to the suffering is present. First one is villager, faith and superstition. Second is father, science and rationality. And third is the holy man as a religious ritual. So this section represents the intellectual and emotional center of the poem. The villager believes that the poison can purify the mother's body and soul by removing worldly desire, reflecting Indian philosophical idea of karma and detachment. They gather peacefully around her, symbolizing community solidarity. Meanwhile, the repeated phrase more candle, more lantern, more never creates a scene of mounting tension and collective involvement. The mother's physical agony is vividly conveyed through the image of her twisting and groaning. In contrast, the father is described as a skeptic and rationalist, representing scientific thinking, yet in his description, he resorts to both medicine and traditional remedies, blurring the boundary between reason and faith. The burning of the wound is captured in the powerful personification, the flame feeding on my mother, which intensifies the sense of suffering. Finally, a holy man performs religious ritual, but the poem subtly reveals that neither science nor ritual provide the cure. After 20 hours, the poison loses its effect naturally. Through symbolism, irony, imagery, contrast, and free verse, Ezekiel suggests that while humans respond to suffering through different belief systems, compassion and endurance remain the poison's deepest values. And the last mother's word, thank God, the scorpion picked on me and spared my children. So that was the line. Because of that, I speak in earlier that Shairi. So tell me, what kind of mother says this? After suffering from the scorpion poison for 20 hours, the mother finally speaks. She does not complain about her pain. She does not criticize the villager, the father, the holy man. Instead, she thanked that she, not her children, was stung. Her greatest concern is not her own suffering, but the safety of her children. This final line constitutes the emotional and philosophical climax of the poem. After during 20 hours of intense pain, the mother utters only one sentence: thanks God, the scorpion peeved on me and spared my children. The word only emphasizes her simplicity and selflessness. Instead of complaining, she expresses gratitude that her children are safe. Through this statement, the mother becomes a universal symbol of unconditional maternal love and sacrifice. The ending also creates a powerful irony. While the villager debates karma, the father relies on science and the holy man performs ritual. The mother transcends all these response through pure compassion. Her words shift the poem from a narrative about a scorpion sting to a timeless meditation on love, suffering, and human value. Ultimately, Ezekiel suggests that the great response to the suffering is neither superstition nor scientific certainty, but selfless love. It's all about this poem. We continue for next poem. Definitely, I will bring another interesting poem. So, thank you so much for watching this.